Right.
Both your team and the Liberty play a positionless style. I guess I'm just curious what you think some of the similarities are between the two teams and what are the differences as well?
Yeah, when I watch them play, I think it looks like watching us play, right? We've got some of the same actions, some of the same talented type players. I think this group has been together a little bit longer. Obviously, them in the process of adding Emma is a new piece to that. But this is, Sandy's got her style in play, and some of these players have been here for a couple years. And so to me, I think that's where we're like trying to catch up to Minnesota and the Liberty is like we don't have as much experience or as many games together. But yeah, I love watching them play. I love watching us play, and because I think we look a lot alike.
That's another question. I guess I'm just curious, obviously the one of honor is another thing.
Yeah.
How for you as a coach, you've been able to, communicate with everyone and all the players you mentioned, in addition to the one when it comes to just who has what role and making sure everyone's bought in.
Yeah, I mean, I give our group a ton of credit. They've all been bought in all year. Just people talk about us playing our bench a lot. Part of it is we've had to play our bench because of the injuries. Change is something that happens in this league just because of the roster size. I was lucky enough to spend 6 years in the D League back then. Now it's the G League. So there was a lot of nights where we had 8 players and you just have to figure it out night to night. And some nights it's like this in our league too right now until the roster sizes get bigger. And yeah, I think, like I said, we've got 21 games now to kind of figure out the rotations and the roles. It's ever changing, unfortunately, for the players and the coaches as you try to put the minute sheet together and stuff like that. But that's part of the deal. And so everyone has bought in. I think the main thing that they've all bought into is wanting to win. And when you want to win, you accept different roles. And that's what it's going to be like when you're on good teams.
You guys were one of the final 3 teams in the MLB Submit sweepstakes. I guess I was just curious, what was your reaction when you finally committed to the order?
Yeah, I mean, Emma's a great player. She's going to be a really good fit here. I think there were, 2 or 3 teams involved. We were lucky enough to be one of them. And I think she made a good choice. She's familiar with Sandy and played with Stewie, and she's a great player and is going to help them.
You had the last time you faced Liberty, last 2 times, they didn't have they weren't at full strength.
Yep.
And you guys obviously have been dealing with injuries and stuff. So I guess, how do you approach this game maybe a little bit differently, knowing that, they're going to have their full starting lineup?
Yeah, I said it this morning, I don't want to spend too much time worried about them, but obviously they're different. We haven't seen Tibbetts and JJ we saw for like 9 minutes. So obviously they're a different team, but we're also a different team. And so right now my main concern is just finding rotations that fit for us, different player lineups that we can put in the game. Obviously, we're concerned with New York, but we've got our own lineups and rotations to figure out. I'm excited for this game. We've played them pretty well twice. They haven't been at full strength. We weren't very good the other night, so I'm excited to see how we respond.
A 2-part question. First one, just piggyback off that is this sort of a measuring spot for you guys where you are against another really good team at this point of the season? And the second part is just what DeWan has brought to you guys so far. I know it's a limited time, but adding a veteran who obviously has been in Phoenix, a couple of championships of that city before, how important is she for you guys?
Yeah, I think you're always measuring yourself against the best teams in this league. They're a really good team. I think that they're a team that is going to continue to get better, but we feel like we're going to continue to get better. You brought up DB. DB is a really good addition for us. She can play the 2, the 3, the 4, and maybe even some 5, depending on different lineups that we'll look at starting here moving forward. But yeah, just her experience, she's won championships. Her second game with us, we go into Golden State and have some injuries, and she goes for 22 and 11. We're not winning that game without DeWanna Bonner. So she's been a huge pickup for us, and every game that she gets, she's going to get more and more comfortable.
I'm just curious about, Natasha Mack is a much different fit with AT in the front court than maybe, kind of Westfeld. So how do you kind of view all of the positives, offensive rebounding, all that Natasha brings, while, is it unfair to call it a compromise? I don't really want to use that word, but, to the offense because she's less of a 3-point spacer.
Yeah, I think we have to do a better job of finding Mac minutes not with AT. I think you'll probably see that tonight. Just because of the injuries, we've maybe been forced to play them together a little bit more, which is fine. I mean, I think anytime you have good players, you're going to put them on the floor if they're shooters or non-shooters. But yeah, Mac has brought really good energy to us. She sets good screens. She rolls. She's an offensive rebounder. She protects the rim. And she's another player that was injured early in the year and is starting to find a rhythm. She's probably had her last 5 games has probably been her best stretch.
How's Mo feeling? And is she on a minutes restriction tonight? And then, what, if anything, did you learn about her importance to all that you guys are doing for being out for this week?
Yeah, Mo is back. She'll play her normal 20 to 25 minutes. Just everyone talks about our versatility or positionless basketball. But everyone kind of knows she has the ball if AT doesn't have it, or if she has it, AT doesn't. And so I think we felt it a little bit here the last couple games. We definitely felt it in the Atlanta game. There were 3 or 4 opportunities where they made a basket and AT took it out and there was no one to throw it into, right? Some of the players that have been wings for us were kind of forced to bring up the ball. But yeah, Mo is a really good young player that we're extremely excited about. She can play pick and roll and she defends at a high level. So we're excited to get her back.
Thanks, Nick.
Awesome.
Can we get a couple of,
Yeah. You bet. Fire away.
So you've lost your last 2.
Yeah.
And so and considering you've played this team twice and beat them already.
Yeah.
How do you look to prevent this losing streak from getting out of here?
Yeah. In this profession, I don't think you can look too far behind and look too far in the future. You're kind of living day to day. There's different circumstances with injuries and the teams that you're playing and things like that. So, we haven't really talked about winning streaks and we haven't talked about losing streaks. We've just talked about each day trying to get better. And this is another opportunity here today. We got to have one more. Come on.
So,
Yeah, there we go.
This is kind of similar to something I asked earlier, but you've obviously had a lot of success against this team this season, and what are you trying to continue coming into tonight, or if you're making any changes?
Yeah, I mean, I think part of some of the success maybe is what someone asked earlier. They haven't been healthy, right? But I don't think we've been healthy either, so we haven't seen their best and they haven't seen our best. Each game is a new opportunity. We've played pretty well against them so far. I think we're going to get a really good look from them. And our bounce back opportunity after a loss the other night. Looking forward to a great game tonight.
thanks, Nick.
All right, thank you.